Chapter 15. It's the strangest start to a race I've ever experienced. There's no shooting from the blocks, no arm pumping, no push or strain. There are hundreds of runners in front of us, and we're barely even jogging as we move forward. It takes nearly 2 minutes for us to reach the starting mat. The mat is broad and rubbery, runs the full width of the street, and makes a chirping sound as it recognizes each runner's timing chip. Chirp, 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 chirp. It's like hyperactive twittering of mechanical checks. And then we're off. I know from having run the course in training that the first 2 miles are slightly downhill, which makes the beginning of the run really enjoyable. People cheer for us, and Rosa waves and clacks her clappers in the air, and calls, "Hi," and "Thank you." I see Mom and Dad and Kaylee and Sherlock at the sidelines, and Kiro is there too, cheering us on. "You are doing great," Gavin says at the 2-mile mark. He's checking his watch. 9:30 splits. I know this is way too fast, but I feel great and figure we'll slow down now that the downhill is behind us. "Splits," I snort, then grin at him. "You have become such a runner." I lean forward a bit. "How are you doing, Rosa?" "Great! Who knew I could run this fast?" she says with a laugh. She looks over her shoulder. "I am loving this. How are you?" "Great," I call back, and it's true. I feel amazing. The course is basically U-shaped. It starts near the river outlets, then passes by retail shops and commercial properties before moving through newer residential developments, older houses, farmland, and then just fields. The halfway point is the Queensland Drawbridge, which arches over the river, and then the course winds back toward the historic settlement houses and into Old Town. The finish is about half a mile past Old Town. Since I've run the route during training, I know the easiest stretch is behind us. I need to conserve. And in the back of my mind, I'm saying, "Slow down. There's no way you should be running 9:30s. But I don't want to slow down. I am having a great time. The crowds are thick. People are cheering like crazy. For Rosa and for me. There she is. There's that girl. Go, Jessica. Go, Rosa. Mario and Gavin flap their clappers through the air, and Fiona toots her horn. "Thank you," Rosa calls back, and waves like she's in parade, which I guess, in a way, she is. As we pass through the residential section, the crowds thin out. There are only small pockets of people now. They call from their porches or stand on the sidewalks and tell runners, "You're looking good. You're doing great. Keep it up." Then the small pockets of people vanish as we run along the road through farmland. There are some cows, but they don't moo, let alone cheer. At first, it's very picturesque. The course has leveled out. The trees are lovely, and the river looks serene. But I'm very relieved to spot our Mile 4 pit crew, and it worries me. Why am I this fatigued? It's Lindsay Griggs and Chandel Norwood at the water station, and Lindsay is bouncing up and down in her Team Rosa t-shirt. "There they are! There they are!" she cries. "Looking good," Chandel says, handing me a cup of Gatorade. "Thanks." I gulp the Gatorade and accept an energy gel. "You're almost halfway," Lindsay says. "You're doing great." We press on, and I squeeze the gel into my mouth a little at a time as I run. It tastes like chocolate frosting, and it revives me a little. When I'm done, Gavin takes my empty pouch from me and asks, "You doing okay?" I nod, but it's only half-hearted. "What's our pace?" 10:30's at the 4-mile mark. "You're kidding." He shakes his head. No wonder. I can't keep this up. It's killing me. He immediately drops back the pace. Hey, he calls up to Fiona and Mario. We've got to ease up a little. Fiona falls in beside me. What's hurting? I'm okay, I tell her. I keep my voice low so Rosa can't hear. I've only run this weight 5 miles before, and it took me about an hour. That's like 12s, and we're doing 10:30s. Fiona slows down even more. This better? I nod. But it's strange. It's like the damage is done, and slowing down isn't undoing it. My breathing won't fall into a comfortable rhythm. My hips have an unfamiliar ache to them, and my arms feel very heavy. When we reach and crest the Queensland drawbridge, I am immensely relieved. Halfway there, Fiona says, pepping me along. And a bit of downhill, I say, grateful for gravity's help with the wheelchair. The Mile 6 water stop is in the middle of nowhere, an oasis in a desert of dried grass. And what's even better than the oasis is that Annie and Giselda are working the station. There they are, Giselda cries. Come and get it, you crazy people, Annie shouts. Crazy doesn't even begin to describe it. They're nuts. Wackos. A running and rolling insane asylum. Amen. We all laugh and get our cups. I actually don't feel like drinking, but I hear Kiro's voice in my head. Be smart, stay hydrated, and keep your fuel up.